Hi folks, welcome to today's video. Right, for something a little different, I'm going to include my ugly mug on some part of the screen there. Just, I'm thinking maybe this might make things more personable, me actually talking to you, or it may put you off seeing this face staring back, talking to you. Anyways, let's talk about the comic, shall we? Right, so this being one of my badly drawn dolphin comics, it's in terms of the color scheme, there's a lot of blue. In fact, it's pretty much entirely blue, just different shades of blue for the dolphin and obviously the water in the background. Now, with this comic, I wanted to do something a little different in terms of the art, because as much as I enjoy doing the badly drawn dolphin strips, I find that I do worry about the fact that there isn't much in the way of variety with them. Not just in terms of the the line art, but also the colors. So, and pardon me for looking back and forth here, but I'm looking at the comic on my other screen here, so I just gotta take a look every now and then. So, if you look at the third panel there, I obviously wanted to go for a very different style to the dolphin, just for dramatic effect, considering the kind of darkness of what he's talking about in that panel. And I thought a good idea would be, when I was doing the coloring, to go for a more rendered look to the dolphin in that panel. And it was actually fairly simple. It was just a matter of going with the same color scheme that I used in the other panels, like putting in all the flats and whatnot. And then as I do with most of my comics, I added the shading layer on top. And instead of instead of the technique I use for the other panels is just simply taking the lasso tool and cutting out the lit areas. And with the third panel, I did a similar thing. I just cut out a bit from the top of the dolphin's head and his cheeks and parts of the tops of his hands. And because obviously I wanted a more dramatic look to the lighting, so I went for lighting coming from above. And once those chunks were cut out, I then used there's an eraser tool I've access to. I forget the name. It's called Natural Eraser 2 or something. It's created by Kyle T. Webster. And what that does is, instead of giving you a hard edged erase, it's almost like erasing with a brush. If a brush could erase, it kind of gives that effect. And as a result, it kind of creates this nice kind of gradient effect. It gives a nice soft edge to the lighting. So I did that at first, and just softened the edges a bit. And then, just to make the gradient look a bit better, using a gouache, I think gouache tool, paintbrush, obviously. I then just touched up the color around the edges of the bits of lighting. And then, just to round out the character a bit more, to make it look more like an actual 3D object, I just added touches of, I created a new layer, and then on that layer I created little spots of highlights. Just simple little spots of highlights on the cheeks, some on the snout, and a bit on obviously on the top of the head, just to give more impression of like a rounded shape. And another little trick I used to make the character look more real, quote unquote, was if you look at the bottom of the character, you may notice there's just a slight touch of blue green going on there. And what I did was using the color dropper tool, I selected the color of the water surrounding the dolphin, and then on a separate layer, first of all, I created a new layer, and then I command clicked on the layer containing the dolphin. Obviously in Windows you'd press control click, and that selects the instances of the dolphin on that layer, and obviously creates a selection that you can use in different layers. So that new layer I created, using that selection of the dolphin, I just gradually added that bit of blue or green, that kind of greenish blue I took from the ocean, and just started like coloring in from the bottom up of the dolphin, and softening as I went on, so it creates again a kind of a gradient effect. And that just it creates the effect of light bouncing off the water and coming back up onto the dolphin. Like, I'm not an expert at coloring or anything, but one thing you do notice is wherever you are, it's not just the light that, say, if you look at me right now, the light source in my room is or rather the primary light source is coming from outside the window to my left here, and is obviously hitting me, the left side of all of me. But the thing is, that's not the only lighting in this room. There would also be the wall here in front of me. The light that's coming in will be coming in, bouncing off that wall and coming back at me. Now, it would only be a subtle difference, but that would change that would change how I would look. If I was sat in a room that, like, my walls are cream in color, but if I was sat in a room with walls that were blue in color, say, that would change how I'd look, even if it was only subtle. And it's a similar thing with this scene. I wanted the dolphin to really look like a physical object in this scene, rather than the more simple kind of 2D look I go for in the when I typically color the dolphin. And yeah, for me, it's just I love little details like that when it comes to coloring. Just little things that I mean, most people probably won't notice it, but on maybe a subconscious level, they will notice that, and it will make that version of the dolphin look more real and grounded in the scene than just a 2D cartoon character. And yeah, so I will leave it at that, and I will talk to you at the next video. Take care.